All right, what is going on, guys? How are y'all doing today? Hello, hello, happy Wednesday. Hope you've had a good week so far. Hopefully, you've had a better week than me. It's been a lot of sickness for the last couple of about a week or so now. It's been just a lot of sick. So I want to apologize already for how my voice sounds a little bit crackly. I'm not sure how long this stream is going to be. We're going to see how long the voice can last. When I was doing the daily show today, it made it through the full 30 minutes, but it was starting to hurt at the end. So we'll see how long we can make it today. I might be talking a little bit quieter, so be ready for that. But hopefully you guys had a good week. We have a lot of bowling news that's going on. We had arguably some of the biggest news in a very long time in the bowling world. And a new purple hammer got released too, which we're going to talk about that. I want to talk about the marketing behind it and why it's crazy. I want to talk about if you actually need a urethane. There are a lot of people out there who are talking about getting that ball and a lot of people who don't need it. And I'm going to try to help you guys figure out why you need that purple hammer 78 or why you don't need it. There's a lot of hype going around. There's a lot of people telling you need to buy 3 of them. So I'm going to let you know why you probably don't need that ball is going to be a big part of today. But otherwise, we're going to talk about Colombia. They're gone. We're down to 10 major brands. Brunswick B7 is now B6. So we're going to dig all into that, what it means for bowling, where Brunswick is probably going to go with this, and is it going to be the only brand that they cut, and what it's going to mean for the future, because there's a lot that rides behind it. And a lot that people aren't really focusing on, which is a little bit surprising. Like the decision itself, I haven't seen a single person talk about. Really, everyone's talking about their memories of it instead of like, why is this happening? So we're going to get into all of that today. But if you are new here, make sure to drop a follow, subscription, whatever platform you're on, because we're live on 4 separate channels right now. We're live on Twitch, we're live on TikTok, we're live on YouTube, and we're live on Facebook. So we're going to be running through a full Q&A as per usual. So let's get right into it, though. I saw a lot of people hopping in. Tyran was the first one who was hopping in. I did also see Mike hanging in as well. So let's see who's all hanging out. Steven, what's going on? Thanks for the deal video. Picked up the heckler. Nice. Yeah, if you guys missed it, bowling.com had some insane deals over the weekend. Like I picked up a Next Factor for $130. Hopefully it's here by like tomorrow, which is going to be really fun. But they had a lot of other really crazy deals. Sorry if you hear my voice like kind of drop like that. Like my throat is super sore. So there'll be times where it's like I almost want to cough, but I don't. But we'll get into that. We'll ignore that. But then, yeah, as Thang said, we have a lot of different Brunswick balls that got announced too that nobody cares about. I hate saying that, but I think that's the smallest news of the week is the new Game Breaker and a full effect and a deviate ball that nobody's going to throw. Like that, it got overshadowed so hard because of the other news that Brunswick dropped this week. Like, we're not going to talk much of Storm and Motive because they haven't done a whole lot, minus the Bionic winning everything. Like, the Bionic is 2 for 3 on championships right now on the PBA Tour, and it has like 3 300s right now in their current event. So it's going to be absolutely crazy. Well, let's see. Kevin, what's going on? Dasher, what's up? Celtic, good to see you, man. Jaybird, how you doing? Sweet baby Jazzy B, love having you in here. How close do we think Black Widow 2 or V1 and Bionic are? I don't think that close. I think the Bionic is a bit stronger. The cover is a little bit stronger. I think it's going to be a bit quicker as well. Hey, Jerry Mars is hanging out. What's going on, man? David Jones, hello. Aaron, how you doing? Kai, I might be the only lefty to prefer the IQ 78 to the purple hammer. You are correct. Yeah, you are probably the only one on the planet who likes the red ball over the purple ball. So, you know, to each their own, really. I do want to talk about how big Brunswick fumbled. Like, apologies to any Brunswick people watching it, but your marketing department fumbled the bag. There was such a cool marketing opportunity you had with the Purple Hammer, where you had a PBA event starting at 11 a.m. Central. You could have dropped the news for the Purple Hammer at like 10:30 with this big, you know, maybe like a few day long thing of like what's coming. And then you say, hey, and look at all these PBA guys that are throwing it, because the PBA guys crushed with it game 1 of the tournament yesterday. Well, the lefties did. Righties didn't throw it because it was 43 feet and reactive looked really good. So it was wild. It was like, guys, this is the biggest release in the last 2 years for your company. Make a cool hype cycle behind it. That'd be sick. But no, it was just like, surprise. Oh, yeah, you guys already saw an hour of PBA guys throwing it. Well, there goes the surprise. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. David, how you doing? Gone. Good evening. Drink tea with honey and lemon juice. I have body armor. That's close enough, right? Close enough. Lincoln Dots, good morning to you. K-Brew. Tyran, IQ78 looked really good for a friend of mine. That's surprising. That ball has a very small window where it's going to be like the best ball, or you need a specific type of ball roll and not to drill it too strong. I did that. Tim, thank you, Zach, for the Spider-Man chamois. I hope you enjoy, man. If you guys do want some ZVL chamois, we have a lot of different colors in stock right now over on DH Lab, like the pink and purple that everybody knows and loves. So we got a lot of stuff going on. Let's see. Mike, I'm guessing we'll see some old C300 nameplates absorbed. No, we won't. I guarantee we do not see a Ebonite the Beast or something like that. I just don't see it happening. Now, a lot of people are saying like, oh, we need another company to pick up Colombia. No, Brunswick has the naming rights and they will sell those for like $1 billion. Now, exaggeration, but I don't think we're going to see any of the nameplates for quite a while because we had them and they did not sell at all. So if they weren't selling before, you can't really expect them to sell again, right? Like, I think that is the main reason that Colombia's gone is their sales were just lower than everybody else. That's been a known thing for a couple of years now, that you just could not push Colombia stuff enough, no matter how good or bad the equipment was. Even that Piranha just did not do as well as a lot of people thought it would. People loved the look of it, but sales just weren't that high. So that is how it is. It do be how it do be. Aaron, I never watched a true review on their channel. I like the announcer over there. Don't remember what account you were talking about. Steven, checking in safe from Simo's 710 split. He's split a lot lately. That roll off was, or not roll off, but that final game with Dombrowski and Anthony was so good. I feel so bad for Simo. Like, he bowled so well all week and he took the 1 seed and he bowled the best that week by far, but he lost the 1 game match. It's the hardest thing with bowling is like, you can be the best bowler for 99% of the tournament, but if you just get a bad break or you just miss your mark a little bit or get unlucky in that title match, like, you're done. So bowling, there's so much luck involved with winning. It's never 100% skill. It's not how it is. So it's absolutely crazy. Let's see. Moonshine. I picked up the Ion Pro and the Next Factor. Nice. That's awesome. That's a good combo. Lefty, do you think anything will happen to Radical or Deviate? No, and the reasons are, I found out Deviate is a newer company, and they have a lot more riding behind them because a couple guys in the company started Deviate. So I don't see that one going anywhere anytime soon. But then Radical is actually its own entity. Kind of. It's so weird because Brunswick never refers to Radical as its own thing, but Radical is technically owned by a separate group, but they have everything contracted out through Brunswick, which is odd. So Brunswick treats them like one of their own, but yet they technically have a different owners in some way. I don't know. They're a very odd company. That's why they do things just like that, slightly bit differently than the rest of the Brunswick brands. So I don't know. They're a little bit weird in that, but I don't see Radical going anywhere. They're not. They don't have like a crazy amount of bowling balls, so they don't have a crazy amount of like lack of ROI, really. Like, their return on investment is pretty high because they have a different guy doing their cores. They do have all the cover guys doing their thing, but they have a slightly different team than the regular Brunswick group. But they are all still Brunswick brand stuff. All the covers are Brunswick stuff. All the cores are pretty much Brunswick. Let's see. Mike, I care about that Full Effect and the Vexed. Both look amazing. So both have had good success on the PBA Tour so far. The Full Effect looked terrible for Virtue Bowling Supply, which was kind of interesting. The Full Effect is kind of what Brunswick is doing now. And this is kind of a pro and con. It depends how you throw the ball. They're making a lot of really strong stuff that's also really sharp down lane. That Full Effect is that to a T. It is super strong. It wants to hook early. When it sees friction, it wants to go. But it also wants to be angular. It doesn't want to be smooth. Like the Ion Max Pearl, for example, super smooth off friction, even though it's a giant pearl ball. But that's kind of what you want for that spot. You don't really want that skid snap, where Brunswick stuff in that spot is skid snap. So if you're somebody who likes all of that angle, that's where the Full Effect is going to be a good play for you. But if you already get enough angle on your ball, then it's really not necessary. So I think the low rev, low speed guys are going to like the Full Effect, but I don't think anyone with medium or high revs is going to like that ball at all. And the Vexed is like a tried and true, like, it's a ball that works. It's a Black Widow Tour. It's a Stronger Ion Pro Solid. It's in that same vein. So of that mild asymmetrical, just medium-ish ball. Those balls always do well. 100% of the time. It's an easy moneymaker. So it was a smart play. It's odd that they made a ball that isn't an Evil Eye Pearl. And it's like, it's still basically Evil Eye, but it's also odd. The marketing behind it is weird. They're just like, it's better than Evil Eye. It's like, well, how do you not care of anyone buying the Evil Eye anymore? Like, if you push it of this is better than the Evil Eye, no one should ever buy an Evil Eye again. But it has been a couple months, and Radical likes to spin through their products a little bit quicker. So I don't know. That one was a little bit odd to see. But the ball looks good. Ball looks really good right now. Let's see. Insert name. How's it going? Hey, it's going well, man. 3Gs. I don't think people give the IQ78 enough of a chance. No, they do. It sucks. The ball's bad. It's just not. It's not better than a black hammer. That's the toughest thing with all. That's how you have to look at all bowling balls. There's so many bowling balls out. Like, most of them are going to be good. Like, the IQ78 is in the grand scheme of things a good ball, but there are much better options. Like, that's how I think with a Ethos Solid from Brunswick or a Lethal Venom from Motive. I'm like, yeah, the ball's fine, but there are better options out there. So go for the better options that are probably the same price point. That's kind of with the IQ. Like, you can just get a black hammer and it's going to do the same things. And overall, 99, there are 130 people watching right now, 160 overall with TikTok included. Almost none of us here need an IQ 78 or a black hammer or any 78 hardness bowling balls. That is something that we all need to remember. We do not need the 78 hardness stuff because urethane is not banned in the stuff that we do. So I'm gonna make that our little talk, our little safe talk of the week right now is everybody out there. Most people who are saying I need to get a purple hammer 78, you don't need it. You probably do not need it. The only people that need a purple hammer 78 who are PBA guys, or if you bowl a ton of tournaments that do 78 hardness and you don't have a black hammer or you don't have a crown 78. The purple hammer will be very similar to the crown and the black hammer. But if you don't bowl anything where 78 hardness stuff is the only thing allowed, you don't need it. Remember that. I'm going to make a video on it soon because I think that's really being missed. And I can already see that the purple hammer sales are going to be through the roof and everyone's saying this is amazing. But you don't need the ball. Like, just get a purple hammer. It is better in every way. Softer urethanes are better than the harder urethanes by miles. It's just how it is. No matter how many reviews you see where they're like, oh, it's so close to the purple. No, get the soft one. The soft one gets softer over time. It's better. It gets better. So just do that is really my big push to the community. I think it's something that bowling is terrible at, is educating people on urethane. Like, I haven't seen a single review so far where people are actually educating others on urethane, which is disappointing. If you only bowl house shots, you don't need urethane. You just do not. If you bowl tournaments, it's good to have it if you bowl on harder conditions, but get a soft one, not one of the 78s. So something to keep in mind as you're going out there. If you've pre-ordered anything or you're planning on it, take a step back and think, do I actually need that bowling ball? Because, like, for me, for example, I'll give you my take. Like, I bowl a lot of tournaments. I'm bowling 2 to 3 tournaments per month, every single month of the year. In all of those tournaments, the only ones where I can't use a regular purple hammer are nationals, which do not bring urethane to nationals. It's a terrible idea. It's not a good idea. You will destroy your team and you will not cash in team. Or I have one tournament series in my area that is 78 hardness only. So that would be another one, but I have a concept. So I really don't need it that much. It's one of my biggest like gripes in bowling right now is just the education level of urethane. Nobody tries to educate others. Everyone's just trying to become a used car salesman saying, you need this ball. You need the urethane. Urethane's great. You see it on TV. You got to buy it. And the amount of horror stories I've heard from people, like I get probably 50 to 100 direct messages per week, including emails about people's arsenals. Like I talk to more people about bowling balls than probably anybody on the planet, probably top 5. And so many of them will have a 78 hardness urethane. So many. My Arsenal rating series, I'm going through all the Arsenals, 1,400 Arsenals. And there are so many urethanes that are harder. So it's so tough. It's like, I want to be able to tell people, like, do not buy that ball. Do not buy that urethane. You probably don't need it. Think about why you need it. Not just because a guy on TV has it. Not just because everybody says purple ball good. if you're throwing it on house shot, there are better options out there. Will it be good? Probably. If you're a high rev rate, will it look cool? 100%. But it's going to make a house shot worse and worse. And you're just going to have a lower average if you use it. So, that talk of the day. Oh, I need some drink after that one. Oh boy. It's a tough one. It's a very tough situation. But let's see. Justin. Guessing all C300 balls are on permanent closeout. So it's a question I never got answered, and I haven't heard from anybody at Brunswick yet, unfortunately. But one of the big questions I had was, is Colombia stuff officially discontinued? Because their FAQ made it seem like white dots are completely discontinued as of today, but the other stuff is running its normal life cycle. So that means piranhas, street rallies, other stuff that they have out right now, pulses, those are going to run until they get to that regular discontinue point whenever Brunswick is going to discontinue them anyway, and then Colombia's done. So I think you can still purchase the balls. I don't know if they're going to go up or down. God, in sales. Ouch. My throat is dry. So something to keep in mind. I wouldn't rush out and get a Colombia ball right now. There's going to be plenty. Don't worry about that. Tyran, I want to buy everyone in my group of piranha. That's awesome. Shark. I can't have a C300 ball. I might as well have a beer. Well, that's an option. Derek, I'm a Game Breaker fan, and the GB5 hybrid release was super quiet. Oh yeah, there's no reviews. I won't even look. I know there are no reviews of the Game Breaker because, well, Purple Hammer and Full Effect Hammerball. Hammerball sell better. Hammerballs get more views, so everyone's going to post about those. The Game Breaker will get probably a review in the next like 4 days. That's probably the number 4 release of them all, which is kind of unfortunate. So it does, what I've been told is that it is early. It's not as early as a GB5 Solid. It is 2000 grit, but it is going to be quicker than most balls. So I wouldn't go buy it immediately. I'd check out a couple reviews, watch it go down a lane, because I haven't seen it go down a lane yet. I just have not. The colorway's sick. I will give it that. Fire AJ, have you drilled the Unreal yet? I have drilled the Unreal. Oh my God, there's so many people asking about the swag stuff. So I'll tell you guys my swag journey. I haven't actually told Luke about this yet. I went to a tournament stupidly this weekend while I was sick because it was a team tournament and I didn't want to have the team not bowl then. So I went, it was in a wood house, ton of oil. It played pretty much like synthetics, and I brought the Unreal Solid. I have never thrown a ball that slow down lane. It is the slowest ball I've ever thrown. It never wanted to overreact. It wanted to hook early at times, but then it just puked. Like, I should have 7-10 so many times. The ball just didn't really want to go through the pins. And which, you know, Woodhouse hooks early. First time throwing it's a little bit chalky, sure. So I'm going to be throwing it at League tomorrow night. I have 6 games of League, 2 sets of 3 for League. I will be bringing it there, and we'll see how it is compared to a lot of other equipment because I know how my house plays. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it rolls. I'm really hoping it's not just a practice ball, but I am very worried that that ball's not going to like angle. And when the fronts are a little bit beat up in these high friction centers, I don't know what the ball's going to do. So it reminds me of a motive ball, really. It reminds me of a super slow motive ball, but a little bit weaker. So I'm a little bit interested. I'm going to be able to get some reviews on it hopefully soon. I have a feeling just by saying that, I'm going to have a lot of swag guys who are angry at me, but you know, my goal is to give you guys exactly how it is. Like me and Luke talked about last week, like he said, it's fair that I have questions because the only guys who've reviewed it are Bowler Smarter swag guys. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. K-Brew, can't get my Bionic to hook. Thinks it's too strong for my house shot. It could be. It comes out of the box at 4,000, so you might need to polish it. Always Dead, thank you for becoming a member, man. Appreciate it. Iran Hammer has the best commercial for the Purple 78. I haven't even watched it. I know they're trying to do it doesn't surprise me, but Hammer's trying to do the chip on their shoulder, like everyone's trying to stop us and they can't. No, the ball's illegal. The ball gets super soft. Like, fun story about original purple, like even current purple hammers. Once they get enough games on them, you can actually like chip away at them with your fingernail because they get so soft. So that has happened. I can do that with mine right now if I want to. I can like scratch away a little bit of the cover stock with my fingernail, so it gets soft. Okay, there. Now I should be better. RJ, did the ball rep on Did the ball rep dodo on Anthony Simonson? He knew the ball, and for my eye test, it wasn't hooking too late. So yeah, looking at the TV show is a little bit interesting. Like I wasn't able to watch insanely closely by any means. But it looked like it was the right ball. He just both lanes just wanted to hook very earlier than the rest of the week, and that was causing balls to burn up. So I don't think it was that. Like I think the high road 40 he tried, and it just was a little too late and clean. So I think the Ion Max Pearl was a good call, but I think the fronts were just so beat up that it was a little bit tough. I think that was one of the big issues. Isaac Norris, what about the Radical Vexed? Again, we've seen nothing about it. That's the problem. We've seen the PBA guys throw it, but it is just like a sharper Evil Eye is really what it is. So I haven't seen enough on it to know, would you need to get that? I mean, you don't need to get any ball, but would you want to get that if you have an Evil Eye? But also I haven't found if the Black Widow Tour is similar, because I see the Black Widow Tour being very, very close. In terms of like specs, cover, core, everything, like even the Brunswick ball chart, they are very close together. So if that's the case, a Black Widow Tour might be a better play for people because it's $40 cheaper right now. That's the problem with the Vex. Super, super expensive. It's hard thing with the effect, hard thing with the concept, hard thing with transformer, all of them. They're very expensive. So you always have to be wary of dropping $300 for the ball plus drilling. But I'm curious. I am very curious. There'll always be a few companies that will do some tongue-in-cheek from SPI, maybe like the Rockstar. No, so the thing with that, like the Rockstar, that wasn't a play at Colombia at all. We're running out of names. Every company has done that in some way, shape, or form. Like the Deep Impact from Radical, that name was, I mean, if you go in the same boat, not stolen, but it was used by Lane Master years ago. So a lot of the names have been reused already. So I don't know. I don't think that's too big. And Storm has come out and they really don't try to poke at the other brands. They've done a pretty good job of that. They actually, I haven't seen a time. The only time I've seen them poke at other brands was when they were doing their Gremlin marketing. They had the Gremlin dropping a spider into the cauldron. And there's like you could see that as like, it's a Black Widow, but there was no logo on it or anything to make, because like Black Widows have like that square or that like diamond or something on their back. But they really don't poke at others all that much. Brunswick is kind of the main poking company. Motive doesn't really poke as well. They do every couple of years at most, but not very often. So Brunswick is definitely the company that pokes a little more at the others. Larry, I still have my purple slammer. I use it in league and the goat ball for sure. Piranha was a little too late. Pretty sure they were already on the way out from the last release, unlike they were throwing for any kind of realistic Hail Mary. No, I think they've been gone. Yeah, I think this plan has been around for a while. I'm just so confused at the timing. Like I asked a couple of people, like, why now? Why did you drop this news when the Purple Hammer came out? Because Purple Hammer reviews are getting much lower views than what I would have expected. Like the views for them are super low, which is weird because that ball should be getting 20,000 views per video, but it's not. And I think the Colombia news is getting a bigger push from people. I think people care more about that right now, which is a little unfortunate. Guardian, what's going on? Nash Bowl stumbled on Bowling TV on Amazon Prime. Bowling TV, you say? Crazy. You might want to watch some of the extra time in that. You might see somebody. You know. You never know. Might want to check it out on, I believe, Roku as well, on a couple other devices. Might be more news coming soon. I don't know. Pretty crazy. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Might see a certain content creator hanging out over there. What's going on, 180? How you doing? Brian T. Just got my Bionic in Korea. Nice. That's awesome. Good for you, man. Archillian, what do you think about the new Super Sport? I still have not seen a reason to get the Super Sport if you have a Venom Shock. That's been my main question, and I don't think I've really seen anything. I think Lewis had a good video where he was like the only one who compared the two, which is wild. Like, that is comparison number one. I think like Storm guys, phase 2 needs to be compared with anything in that realm, and they usually do an okay job at it. Like Bionic, everybody compared it to the phase 2. Good. I didn't see a single person do Venom Shock versus Super Sport anywhere until Lewis did a couple days later. But it looks exactly what we saw, that the Super is a little bit later and a little bit cleaner. So it looks like a good ball, But if you have a Venom Shock and you don't have more than 8 bowling balls, I don't think you really need it per se. I think the Shock fills that gap pretty well. Kind of the tough spot with where Motive's at, because any ball they make, it's like, all right, it can't fit where the Venom Shock does because it's just there. Dasher, I feel sorry for that almost perfect 300 game. It's always an unfortunate thing. Yeah, Row, I covered the swag ball a little bit. Tyran, I do like my Zero Mercies, just really have enough oil in my neighborhood. And that was a big one. I think that was something I'm still kicking myself over. I wish I would have made a video specifically about the Zero Mercies and how strong they are. So it helped a few people not spend $1 billion on them when they didn't really need them. That's one of the more common things I get is like, I bought a Zero Mercy because it looks so good and it hooks so much. Is there a way I can get it to hook less? Not really. You bought the biggest hooking ball on the planet, unfortunately, and no one really advertised it as such and when you need it. So I'm still kicking myself on that one. I wish I would have done something with that. Cause yeah, the Zero Mercies are too strong for most people. Like for my house shot, the Zero Mercy is unthrowable. It's way too early. Just like an Evoke Mayhem is also unthrowable on my house shot though. And I'm not even rev dominant by any means. Desby, would the next factor be a good ball in between the phase 2 and the Equinox solid? No, it's not going to be in between. It's going to be after both of them. It's going to be later than both. David, are you excited to see the new bowling documentary? Dude, I am so stoked for that new bowling documentary. Born to Bowl is coming on Monday? Monday night, I think. Yeah. Coming on Monday night. It is a 5-part series about 5 different PBA pros. It is Kyle Troop, Anthony Simonson, Jason Belmonte, EJ, and then name redacted, otherwise Cam Crow, who did officially get charged with the drugs. I think the news was broken by 11th frame. I should get the exact wording of it so I don't say anything wrong. I won't say much about it. There's a lot of rumors going around with the Cam Crow situation. So I've been trying to only talk about the important stuff, or like the stuff that's actually true. There it is. He was charged with the possession of various drugs that I probably cannot say on the channels in Indiana. So he was charged. But yeah, they are going to be covered in a 5-part series and it sounds awesome. Ben Stiller is the executive director. I actually have one of their main guys who has talked to me a little bit about it on the side on Instagram. So it's been very cool to hear. So I'm very excited about it. I wish I would have seen it early. I know Wriggle saw it early and a couple other guys, but I would love to see it. I'm so excited for Monday. Isaac Norris. What do you think in our arsenal with an Innovator, Ion Max Pearl, Bionic, and an IQ Tour? It looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, you have kind of a little bit of everything, so I think it looks good to start. IQ 78 is good for a certain niche. As a two-handed lefty, it's actually a good ball. Yeah, it helps you stay super straight if you're high rev, for sure. David, I know it's an odd question, but why do bowling centers have high arch ceilings? Nobody's throwing the ball that high. I think it's noise is a big one. The noise is a very important one because bowling centers are loud. I think that's one of the main reasons. Oh, Grump, I did miss your comment. You were asking about the Evoke Mayhem. After the Hysteria saved my tail feather during state, and Nandrill, Max Effect, and Hypnotize for state next year. It was rough. I would honestly wait. State is a year away, but no, I did see your post a little bit. And the one thing I wanted to mention is that they use different patterns for state. So I think Jeff Wriggles did post the pattern. I don't know if Wisconsin State posts it, but it's usually more important to know, instead of bowling in the center that it's at, is to know the oil pattern, because it's going to be a lot more oil. Generally, they put down a little more volume than you would see on your regular house shot. So being able to adjust off that is usually a good play for those tournaments. Billy, recently Envy Tour cracked. Oh, I'm sorry for that. Good replacement, Effect Tour. Effect Tour is your best bet for sure. And then this is a good question. Quinn, Concept, or Purple Hammer 78 for Nationals? Concept, 100%. Concept doesn't carry down oil as much as a Purple Hammer 78. The big thing with Nationals, like, you can't think of it as just you as an individual, because you will lose, and you will lose money if you think of it just as a singular person. You're going to Nationals, you have to think of it as a team. And your goal isn't just put out high scores, because no one here can put up a 750 on the fresh on the Nationals patterns. It's insanely difficult to do. It's a 1.5 to 1 ratio pattern on very clean surfaces. Very, very hard to do. So you need to break them down. And if you use urethane at Nationals, you don't break the oil down. You're just pushing it down lane. And that's going to make the lanes even harder, because you're going to push oil where you want there to be friction. because there isn't much friction on the lanes to start, like in the right places, I should say, at nationals. So you want to break the lanes down and actually absorb oil and pick up oil off the lane compared to just push it down into various parts. So I strongly advise against urethane at nationals. If you do want to throw something that's super, super smooth, which I really do respect, I think Concept, NU 2.0, even short pin equipment is going to be eons better than urethane. Do not let anyone tell you that you need to bring a urethane a lot of the time to nationals unless you want it for doubles and singles. That is about the only reason that you would truly need urethane at nationals. That is about the main reason that I would see. Dondrick, have you heard that the Crown Victory Pearl is stronger than the original? It is. It's stronger and a heck of a lot quicker. So, yeah, stronger and a lot quicker down lane. Oh, here it is. Nash Bowls. Stumbled on Bowling TV. Seems to mostly show old tournaments, but in between some events, they play ZVL videos. You familiar with this channel? Why, yes. Yes, I am. I do know them very well. So yes, you will be seeing ZVL videos on Bowling TV as the #1 and only creator that they currently have in their commercial breaks. So kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. A little more coming soon. Hey, Vincent, what's going on? Congrats on the big score last week, 2 weeks ago. You shoot honor scores like every week. So congrats on the various honor scores every week for the next like 6 weeks. No, that was cool to see. I think I saw that on Facebook. Beating, which balls are good for completely dry lanes? You've had to use plastic in the middle as a strike ball. So that's really, if you're getting into situations where like you need super weak equipment, that's where like rhinos, tropical surges, raws, those balls do come into play pretty well. They are going to get really far down lane and they're going to carry better than plastic will. So I would recommend some of those guys. I think rhinos and surges get severely overlooked by a lot of people who are insanely rev dominant, because that is what you can keep on the right side of the lane. So I think that's a good play. Oh, it has over 1 million views on Insta. That's awesome. That's sick. That's crazy. I know there's a lot of negative comments on it, but like a view's a view. That's kind of how I think of it with a hate comment. Like, thanks for the engagement, man. What was the last hate comment I got? Ooh. I don't think I've gotten one today. Facebook, I usually have like 2 to 3 like mean comments per day. It really thickens your skin quick on Facebook. There's some cruel people over there and just like dumb comments too. But it's always funny. Dez, you hit that one. Matt Colvin, do you like the concept? I do like my concept right now. It is exactly what I was hoping it was going to be, which is a urethane-like ball that is not too clean, that hooks super early, super smooth, and is going to be super controllable on harder conditions. Because I'm not a guy who likes urethane that much. Like I can make urethane work I'm not a guy who can make urethane work for 5 games. It's just not in my ball roll and it's not one of my skills. But the concept I can throw for quite a while because you can still move with that ball and it'll still hook a little bit. It still has that it still feels like a reactive ball, but yet it hooks super early. So I think I'm really liking the concept. It's kind of what I was hoping for in a bowling ball. So if you're someone who doesn't like urethane and you need something a little sharper down lane and just a little more reactive like, that could be a good option. Maddie Ice over on TikTok. If I have a radical zing, would getting an IMX Pearl be a good replacement? It's going to be a little quicker down lane, but yeah, I think it's a good option. Landon Bowles, what's a good ball from Deviate for heavy oil? Strong sharp ball. Hater Pearl. Deviate Hater Pearl or the Heckler. Actually, I'd go Heckler Hybrid. Honestly, Heckler Hybrid's a little bit better, a little bit more well-liked. And Bozzy, what's a good replacement for an IQ Ruby? IQ AI. IQ AI will be best. Insert name. Do you think it's worth getting the old regular purple now that the new 78 is out? You think that they're discontinuing the old one? No, the old one will not be discontinued, but do not get the 78 if you don't have a reason to only throw 78 hardness balls. So I had a rant on that about 20 minutes ago, but do not get the purple 78 if you do not need to throw 78 hardness stuff. If you're not in tournaments where they're banning the soft urethanes, don't get a 78 one. It's a waste of money and it's worse than a regular purple hammer. Just get a regular purple. Do not get a 78 if you don't need it. It's just a worse ball overall. There is going to be a lot pushed on you of like, this thing is as good as the purple. It's better, whatever it may be. Do not get it. The softer ones are objectively the best. So it's, oh man. Yeah, do not. Johnny, should I keep my pitch black because I don't use it much? I mean, it's always good to have it. Always good to have it if you have the space for it. You really can't sell it for a whole lot. How do we update our arsenal in the docks from Grumpa? Unfortunately, right now you can't. I'm kind of going through a change up in the arsenal rating, so more coming soon on that. Charmaine, how is the Dynasty? Dynasty is really good. People are loving that ball. Absolutely adoring the Dynasty. The pros are really, that's probably the #1 most used Brunswick ball that is not a urethane right now, and the Pro Tour is the Dynasty. That thing's being used all over the place because it's not as strong as a like Zero, for example. So it's going to be a little more usable. Cobra Queen, thank you so much for the follow. Really appreciate it. And Haywood and Chad Bro Chill. Love that name. Thank you, everybody who's following so far. If you haven't, make sure to sub or follow. Best way to help support. And then make sure to drop a like, too. We are going through all of the crazy news that just came out with Colombia closing its doors, Brunswick shutting the company down, a new purple hammer coming out, and then a bunch of other bowling balls that Brunswick announced that are getting zero love and attention right now. So we're talking about all of that fun stuff. Here, water is good for a dry throat. Oh, I've been chugging water, dude, all over. Grumpa, white dots were the best looking spare ball. I hate seeing them go. I mean, so a lot of people are upset with the white dots, but the thing you have to remember is the white dots and T-zones are identical. So if you just wait till next year, I guarantee they bring some of the white dot colorways into the T-zone. So really what they did previously, like they're made in the same plant, like probably on the same line almost. But the only difference was the colorways they put out. So they would just kind of like draw a line in the sand, like white dots, T-zones. Or now it's just going to be everything T-zone. They'll probably add more colorways for T-zones because it'll give them a couple more lines to use. So I wouldn't be too worried about the white dots going away. Their T-zones are identical. Like those are the same ball. Oh, Tommy Jones. Yeah, Tommy Jones did have his first 10 with that ball, right? Those are always good videos. I think that's one of my favorite ball review videos. Not ball review, but like ball announcement videos from the companies, like directly from Ebonite. I think that's always really cool because you actually get a little bit of an idea. And I actually get more out of that than most ball reviewers right now on a lot of that equipment. So I think that's always cool to have. What's his closest brand available to C300? Every Brunswick brand. They're all the same. Always remember that, like, Colombia is not its own brand. I know the letter they put out made it seem like it's just Colombia, but that was Brunswick sending the letter out because Colombia is just an umbrella or a company that is housed by Brunswick. So all of the companies are similar to C300 in that camp. The covers are similar. I mean, the core designer for Colombia is also the core designer for Hammer and the core designer for DV8. So buy a Hammer ball if you like the cores. Then you can get Buckosh's core. Let's see. I have an X Factor sitting in a box waiting for holes. I love my dark code. This will be weaker. This is going to be weaker and a lot quicker than your dark codes. Be ready for that. Dreaming, would the Piranha be good for a house shot? If you want something super, super strong and smooth, yes. But if you want something quicker, no, then it's not a good option. Cobra, what about Brunswick? Columbia 300 is gone as a company. So Columbia 300 is officially being retired and disbanded as a company. They sent out a letter yesterday evening on their Facebook and then to a bunch of their pro shops and stuff saying that they are closing their doors, which are the same doors as Brunswick, but they're just closing off the Columbia side of things and they're moving those resources to the other 6 brands. So Brunswick is now going from the 7 brands of Brunswick to the 6 brands of Brunswick. So Columbia has been around for 60 years. So it's very sad to see a historic company go, especially no one really saw it coming because Brunswick said, I think Dykstra said a couple of years ago, right when they picked up all the Ebonite brands, that we aren't getting rid of any companies yet. And they are now. They are now officially getting rid of a company or two. And unfortunately, there is like no news about it from anyone. It's just Columbia's letter and that's it. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we hear a little bit more from people in the company, but we'll see. Something public also. A lot of things that bowlers do is like, I'll say that and then I'll get some texts afterwards from various people. Like not even Brunswick people of like, this is what happened. It's like, yeah, but I want that public. Tell us all that publicly so everybody knows. D Beegs, thoughts on the Ion Pro Solid? It's one of the best house shot balls in the market. Guardian, I'm going to head to a local tournament Saturday. Good luck, man. Love that. Me too. I'm going to be bowling in 2 tournaments this weekend. Ro, JR Pro Shop had a battle, GB Hybrid and Effect Hybrid. Ooh, I'll have to check it out. I haven't seen those guys hanging out yet in the chat. A little sad. Little sad. Dasher, I just made a Minecraft server. What should I do in it? I've been in Pokemon Pokopia lately, so I am anti-Minecraft right now. I haven't played Minecraft in a minute either. Landon Bowles, what category is the Heckler Solid in? Strong Smooth. And Eliza, I have a Jackal Onyx and a Steel Forge. What would be a good middle ball? Jackal Ghost is about the only one that's going to fit there. There isn't much that's going to fit in that gap. E-double, what would be a stronger version of the bubblegum vibe? Hammerhead Pearl, I think is pretty close to that. Always Dead. I think it's fair that people are mourning C300. A lot of loud voices in bowling have rolled and will be heavily missed. Oh, absolutely. 100%. And Tyran, Rip. Hey, thank you for the super chat, man. Rip C300. I do want the big orange ball. I can't win legit. I can blind the opponent. There you go. Yeah, but I mean, like, so I've been in the bowling social media side for 2 years now. And the one thing I've learned with bowling social media, and it sounds super negative, and I'm apologies for that, but people are usually immediately negative about a situation. Like it's always anger that comes out first from people, no matter the news. But this time it wasn't. This was one of the few times where you weren't met with venom when people heard about it. Like when I mentioned when Brunswick decided not to certify Colombia for the PBA tour, people went ballistic. They were venomous. They were attacking the PBA, attacking USBC for some reason, attacking me. And this time, none of that. Absolutely zero. It's like, oh, I'm gonna miss my yellow dots and my white dots, and they're saying, this was one of my favorite bowling balls, and it was just weird. Like I say it in like a spot where like I'm always protective when news comes out because it's always met negatively. Like even the HBO doc, which is only good news, got met with a lot of negativity when I posted about it. It was weird. Like this is only a positive for bowling, and people were pissed. Like, screw HBO. Really? HBO is great. I Steel Forge or Nebula for medium sharp ball for lefty. I don't think a Nebula is very needed for you. I think the Steel Forge would be a little better. David, have you seen the stealth mode hybrid on the lanes? I haven't seen it in person. I probably will never see that ball in person on the lanes. Brunswick stuff isn't very popular in Minnesota right now. But doesn't match where it shows on the ball chart. Yeah, it's very close to where it is on the ball chart. It's quicker than you'd expect. It acts more like a stealth pearl. Mike, I'm torn between the Effect Tour and Tour V1 to go between my Zero Mercy Pearl and my Alert. My PSO wants me to get the Effect Tour. Yeah, I think Effect Tour is a better option. That Tour is probably going to be a little later and quicker than the Alert, just by a little bit. So Effect Tour, you know, for sure is going to fit in that spot. My Zero Mercy died from perk. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That ball seems to absorb oil fairly quickly. Fresh, what kind of place could I go to have my speed and revs checked? So the only option is a place that has Specto, but there are online services you can use, such as Lane Tracks is always a really good one. That's going to be able to help you determine that stuff. E-double. What would be we hit that. Is the Super Sport or Evoke Mayhem comparable to the Hammerhead? Mayhem's stronger. Super Sport is weaker. Trap, what's up? Can bro see my question? Brother, I've got 200 people watching right now, man. Sorry. Phase 3 doing better than my phase 2 for me. Is that weird? No, that's fine. Every ball is somebody's favorite somewhere. So yeah, it might fit better on your shot. Phase 2 might be a little too early or something. Will, considering changing from 2-finger no thumb because of consistency issues, thumb in or 2-handed? I do not like one-handed no thumb. It's very hard to be consistent. You have to be a pretty strong individual to be consistent with it. So I would try 2-handed first. That'll be a little more comfy for you. Grumpa, if they tested, I bet there'd be many more. He was a really nice guy when I spent time with him a few months ago. And that's like, I think a lot of people are confusing the two different sides of things going on. Like I've seen a billion people go and like defend Cam, which is awesome. But like you can still have nice people who get caught doing illegal things. That's kind of normal. So yeah, he's a super cool dude. It sounds like. I've never met the guy. And a lot of people are defending him, which is great. But yeah, he unfortunately made a really bad decision right before the HBO doc, which It's going to cost him a little bit. I will be curious to see what's yeah, I'll be curious to see how the HBO doc shows things, because he won't be bowling on the PBA Tour probably this year, is what Jeff Riggle said on 11th Frame, because the court date is only in August, and professional rules in every sport state that until something's figured out, like, you will be suspended. So we probably won't see him on the tour in 2026 again. Let's see. Any thoughts on the danger zone for a high rev two-hander? I think it's a pretty good ball for that. It's going to be a little stronger than what you expect. Question, can we have an update ball chart, please? Guardian, I have updated ball charts every month on my website, zvlbowling.com. You'll be able to see every single brand's ball charts every single month. So I just posted Storm's March ones. And once I get a better idea of all the Brunswick equipment, I will have a Brunswick one coming out as well. And then I think I haven't posted the Motive one yet for the Super Sport, but that'll be coming very soon as well. So I have new ones every single month. So I won't be making it quicker than that. I don't think there's a need to, but every time there's new ball releases, I update them. So make sure to check out over there. Otherwise, it's posted on my short form channels all over the place as well. Joseph, do you think the team event at Nationals will be softer since last year's was so grueling? It'll be, the pattern's going to be near identical, I bet. But the lane surfaces are just going to be better. So scores will go up, but that's the only reason. Hey, Dylan, what's going on? Ready to take some dubs home this weekend? Yeah, it should be a fun weekend of bowling. Excited for a lot of bowling. I haven't really bowled much lately because I've been sick. So I got to get out. I've got 6 games of league tomorrow, and then I hopefully will practice on Friday as well, and then bowl all day Saturday and all day Sunday. It's going to be a lot of bowling this weekend. Lots of bowling. Always a good weekend, though. I have a lot of bowling balls I want to test out, so I think it'll be fun for that. Nothing new being thrown, really, just comparing a lot of the old stuff. Like, I want to bring my Spartan a little bit more. I'm bowling on a house shot for one of those tournaments. It's a city tournament for Minneapolis, St. Paul. So I want to see how that does outside of Owatonna. I'll be interested. Did Joe no hate comments? Well, you smell bad. Shut up. Fine. Not me, it's you. Celtic, would you rather shoot high scores in league and not learn anything, or struggle at league but learn something? I struggled at league but focus on spares to win all my points. Personally, league means very little to me. I treat league as practice. Like, I go in with a goal in mind of like what I want to help fix. Like, last time I bowled league, which wasn't last week, but 2 weeks ago, my goal was to try to fix my second step on my walk up, bring that closer to my body. And I happened to shoot 740, 770, which was cool. But my bigger purpose was trying to fix that part of my game. So my scores don't mean much. I do need my average to stay at an okay place so I don't get called out for sandbagging by any means, because that's not my goal ever, is to sandbag. I don't bowl enough handicap tournaments for it to be worth it. But I also, like, it feels good to score well, of course. I always want to go for honor scores. Like, I don't have all that many honor scores. I just don't bowl enough times in a league setting to get honor scores. So it's always cool to go for, absolutely. But I would rather learn stuff and try to figure out some things in my game for the tournaments that matter a little bit more. Corey, what are your thoughts on the new GB5? The left looks substantially stronger than GB4 hybrid. Oh yeah, it's a much stronger GB4 hybrid. It is an updated cover, but it's also sanded. So it's going to be a lot earlier. Joe, oh no, sorry. Yeah, Joe, what surface on your concept? So it came out of box 1,000. I haven't touched the surface yet. I put probably 8 games on it, 9 games on it at most. Kevin, did you buy a Next Factor? And if so, we'll be doing a review. I did buy a Next Factor. I will not be doing a review. So the one tough thing, like with the one tough thing with the channel is ball reviews in general do really well right when the bowling ball is announced. But if you post a review a couple days later, nobody cares at all. And the ball review game is impossible to break through because it is very gatekept by a lot of the ball companies right now. So I will not be getting into the ball review game anytime soon. I have a video coming out with some updates for the channel, but no, I will not be getting into the ball review game. All 3 companies have kind of said, nah, you're not doing that. So, yeah, I will not be making a ball review for it, unfortunately. And it's a little too late for it. Maribeth, congrats on the EFX signing. Thank you so much. For anyone who wasn't here last week, I did officially sign with Apparel EFX. So you can use code ZVL for 10% off at checkout. Great way to help support the channel and can get some fantastic jerseys. EFX is the only company I've used for jerseys for like 4 years now. I think since COVID, actually. I haven't really played with a lot of the other companies. EFX has just been my big dog. So if you're getting jerseys, even before the signing, I would recommend EFX to everybody. And afterwards, of course, I recommend EFX because you can get a little bit of a % off. They make some awesome jerseys. But yeah, that'll be really fun. I'll have to get them somewhere on the picture. I might have to have like a rotating ad somewhere up here of like all the brands that are helping the channel in some way. Garrett, do you think Luke would mind if you added reaction shape in your Arsenal guides? I don't personally want to add. I have smooth. I'm going to keep my categorization guides how they are forever. I did add urethane and urethane like to the picture portion of it, but I don't want to add another variable. I think it's very easy to use 2 variables, but once you add in a third, it gets very messy. Martin, do you think we'll see a full urethane ban? I would have said yes, but with Brunswick making the purple, they would not have put this much time and effort into a purple 78 if it was getting banned. So I assume we're going to have a 78 hardness ban sometime in the next year, would be my guess. But that's a guess, completely out of the blue. I hear a lot less information than you'd expect in the bowling game, which is kind of surprising. Like, it's very weird. I'm kind of like the only guy who is like a news guy for videos on the internet for bowling. And I never get any news. I get it when you guys do, which I thought, like, stepping into the bowling news side, like, man, if this series blows up, maybe I'll have people contact me early, like, hey, by the way, this is coming soon. But nah, nothing. I actually get less information than I did then, which is crazy. Chase, finger grip reviews. Yes, those are on the way. I did get confirmation today from Turbo that my package is on its way from them. So once I get the package, check out what they all sent me in my initial welcome package, then we will go from there. Iron Rage. Really, another urethane ban. All the last one did was promote plastic usage. So I want to nip this one a little bit. No, it did not. You cannot substitute plastic with urethane. It doesn't work that way. It is worse in every way. The urethane ban is happening. Well, the soft urethane ban that's going on right now for the major tournaments is happening only because, like, USBC gave a lot of reasons, but the main reason is that you can make a urethane ball a cheater bowling ball. You can make them softer, and soft urethanes are the greatest ball you can ever throw. So you can't do that with reactive. With plastic, it doesn't make it really good. But urethane you can, and it's very hard to test because if you soak a ball and you throw it for a couple days, it's going to go back to close to where it was, but a little bit softer. Like, they continuously get softer. So that is why the original ones are getting banned, because they get too soft. You aren't going to see plastic. Like, yes, the pros are using plastic, but there's 2 reasons for it. One reason was those lanes woodland hook so much, and the patterns they picked were so short. Like, yes, I know one of them was 47 feet, but the drop brush was like 39 feet. So that's where all the heavy oil is. So plastic gave them a urethane look because we have all these pros, and for the last 10 years, we've taught them you need to play your first ball out of your bag 100% of the time is urethane. Is urethane up the right or left edge, depending on what hand you throw with. Like, that is your option 1. If you have that, you can average 250 with a high rev rate. Well, now we said, all right, you can't use it. And they've been trained for 10 years to do this one thing. So when the situation arises that things get tough, what are they going to want to do? Do the thing that has worked for 10 years with whatever ball's out there. So that is where it is. So you're going to see more plastic because that's what people got comfortable with. But pre-2016, pre-soft urethanes, you didn't see anybody doing that often. You saw them manipulating their hand. That's a big one that Chris Barnes has pushed, is like, people don't have touch anymore, is because you can just put a ton of revs on whatever axis rotation you want on a urethane and it's going to be good, versus making a reactive ball tumble, lowering your rev rate, things like that. So no, the urethane ban worked very well. It did exactly what USBC wanted, and I see it as a mission accomplished. Most people who watched the entire tournament really did enjoy the different strategies used, which was really cool, but I think it's going to just create more creativity on the lane. It's not going to mean everybody's only throwing plastic now and plastic gets banned. No, plastic will never get banned. Never happen. Sorry, and that got a little more blunt than usual because I've heard that argument way too much from way too smart of people that are just rage baiting at this point. Like, there's a lot of people that are just rage baiting because they hate USB-C or they know people hate USB-C. And if you make a post on Facebook saying, I don't like the USB-C, you're going to get 1,000 upvotes. Like, it's kind of the easy punching bag right now, but it's not, it's not the most fair thing to do. So remember, whenever you're seeing that stuff, think about it a little bit. Realize plastic is not better than urethane. Plastic is not as good as urethane. It's not about USB-C wanting people to not play straight. It's actually because the balls could be illegal, is what it is. And people could purposefully make them illegal without anyone else knowing it. And it has happened and has been happening. There are groups of people that do it. So this cuts them out, luckily. Tyran, Radical will now bring out the evil Thane. Yeah, no. I was talking to somebody on my Discord last night. Anybody who was on the Discord maybe saw it, but it's always funny. We were talking about urethane, and then someone brought up the double cross from Radical. And the double cross is, I think, the saddest ball Radical ever made, because when Mo Pinnell was around and running the company, he had multiple times where he said, we will never make a urethane bowling ball. We will never have one. There are ways around urethane that people just don't use, that they aren't good enough at. And that was a lot of short pin stuff and bowling balls that could mimic it that were still reactive, because he hated urethane with a passion. He was urethane hater #1. He would be very behind the urethane ban right now. And when he passed, then a year and a half later, Radical came out with the double cross, which was a urethane ball. It was crazy. It was wild. People were very shocked at the time. Like, oh, that wasn't what they wanted originally. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, if for anyone who remembers and watches some of the old videos, he was urethane hater because he didn't see a place for urethane. That's when the purple hammer rose and became the best ball ever. So that's been a little surprising for the brands. Yeah, and Mikey loves it. Yeah, Mikey Pinnell adore it. He uses it all the time. But he's very he's low ball speed, high revs. So urethane is the best option. It's kind of, if you can't beat him, join him situation. But Mo, yeah, he was very much Radical will never make a urethane. So very, very interesting. Zane going to college, getting a Zero Mercy solid. There you go. Dasher, we talked about that. Mike Brunswick is like Anheuser-Busch. Smitty, I too am going to college, basically doing the same thing, but you got a Spartan. That's awesome. When you say quicker, what do you mean? When I say quicker for a bowling ball, I mean sharper down lane. So when it starts hooking, it's just going to be, more angular. It's going to make more of a V shape compared to like a round banana shape or U shape. Brian, what's going on? 5 days off finally. Love that. Love that for you. Iron Rage, I just don't want to have another problem when most of the field's throwing plastic. Most of the field will not throw plastic. That's the thing. You are not bowling a PBA event. Like, most of the field threw it because they were on 35 feet, insanely high friction surfaces, and they're all insanely high rev rates. I don't think, Iron, you're bowling a tournament with rev rates like that. So you're A-okay. We'll promote bad play patterns and force some dumb rule change. Well, I mean, Urethane kind of promoted bad play patterns as well. There are many situations where Kegel has come out and said, we made this pattern where reactive is the best option. We tested it in the lane center that, or in the center that it's in, and reactive is the best option. Junior Gold 2025. They specifically said this pattern was made for reactive balls, and we tested both patterns, or we tested the pattern in multiple places, and reactive balls were eons better. But what happened? 5 purple hammers were thrown because that is the safety option. So you could argue that urethane promoted bad play patterns as well. Zane, while I have a zigzag solid, I loved it. Then it stopped working and reading weird. That's unfortunate. I'm sorry for that. Justin, I just picked up bowling after 20 years. My average is about 140. Congratulations. That's awesome. Transferred to two-hand. I'm getting the hang of it. Good. That's awesome. Welcome to the game, man. Really, really glad having you here. We always love hearing new people that are in the game. That's kind of the goal. Keep growing the sport in some way, and actually grow it, which is Awesome. I'm so glad you're in it. I hope you dive head in and love it just as much as almost everybody here does. God, body armor is so good. Will, considering changing to two, oh yeah, we hit you. To Joe, I got a mystery ball and it was a power hitter. Oh yeah, that ball's cheap right now. Anything I should know about it that isn't immediately available on YouTube? It's quick. It's a sharper ball. It's a milder ASIM, so it's not the strongest thing in your bag. It honestly, it's like a baby version of the full effect, is how I see it. Like a junior version of it. Dustin, my first ball was the Dynasty. There you go. Mark, do you prefer Hammerhead Pearl or Crown Vic Pearl? Crown Vic Pearl for sure. Hammerhead Pearl is kind of hit or miss right now. Seen a lot of people say that it like doesn't like oil very much. Dustin, what are your thoughts on the Storm Nova? Not many people like the Nova. It was fine. Yeah, it just didn't get much love. Unless your name was Brad Miller. He really liked it. Lindy was watching FIBA and Caitlin Clark. Oh, is she playing? That'd be awesome. Haven't seen her play in a while. Trying to improve rev rate. Been watching YouTube, but I haven't heard anything that really makes an impact. The big one with rev rate is getting your hand more underneath the ball and having your thumb exit the ball before your fingers do. So a lot of people have the problem where their fingers and their thumb release the ball at the same time. Like when they release it, it's just they go out at the same time and then your rev rate's super low. But if you can get that thumb out and then your fingers out, that'll boost your rev rate. That's why two-handers have such a high rev rate, because they never have to use their thumb. They never have to worry about that getting in the way. So that is a big one. Smitty, is your school? Oh, you're talking with someone else. Dreaming. I like smooth balls like the Alert. Would the Piranha be the same ball? Piranha would be like a step above the Alert. Is the best spot for it. RPG recently did water and soap treatment to my whole arsenal. Revived my strong ball significantly. Good for you, man. That's awesome. RJ bowled this last Saturday, New York Masters. Supposedly flat. It wasn't. Have to have a defined hook spot. Yeah, I mean, 1.5 to 1 ratio patterns still can have a hook spot depending on the lanes that you're bowling on. Absolutely. So that's understandable. Ralphie, any tips for slowing speed on fresh, or is it better to ball up? So if you want to slow your speed, the best one is slowing your footwork. Is going to be a great one. Waniac might keep pissing me off using it on league. I got to play around with carry down. Yeah. Don't throw urethane on house shots. It just makes everyone not like you because you make the pattern harder. It's not they don't like you because you're throwing it, and it's not like a chip on your shoulder type thing you should see it as. No, you're making the lanes worse. That's just how it is. House shots are meant to be easy and stay easy. And urethane makes them harder usually. There's times where it doesn't, but most of the time it does. Antonio, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. I'm a low ball speed two-hander and looking for 2 balls to get to add to my Ion Max. You have an Ion Max. Ooh. You might want to go something smaller. I'd start with like a hustle and then see what you think of that, and then go from there. See if you need to get something closer to the hustle or closer to the Ion. TJ, will USB-C and PBA be banning C300 balls in tournaments? No, not at all. No, there's been plenty of companies that have gone away. AMF, Lane Masters, plenty of companies that have stopped making bowling balls. The balls are still legal because once a ball is USB-C approved, it stays USB-C approved. It's just how it is. So no, all the Colombia balls will be fine. You can't throw them on the PBA solely because Colombia or Brunswick does not register the product. So to be a product on any kind of professional sports show or any kind of professional sports league, you have to register with the main company. Like NBA, Nike has to register with the NBA. Just like this one, Colombia would have to register with the PBA, and they did not. So PBA, you cannot throw Colombia already. USB-C, you'll always be fine. It's always legal. On the fresh, if you're looking for a new sponsor, tell Frank I sent you. Guardian, did you hear about the professional bowler in Colorado that had their equipment stolen? Yeah, I did, because the news channel in Denver used my Motive ball guide when showing bowling balls. I don't know if you guys saw that or heard about it. There's a guy in Colorado. Somebody stole like 14 of his bowling balls. He was a regional guy, and he left all of his bowling balls on his porch, which was a bold strategy. And they were stolen. And the Denver news company that covered him showed my chart on the news broadcast. Like my logo was kind of in it. But yeah, they used my chart in it, which is crazy. Wild. I think that means I'm famous now. Brian, practice tomorrow before bowling adult youth Friday. The boy destroyed me last time. Hey, there you go. Good. You'd rather have that. It's always good to be the worst person on your team because that means everyone else is pretty good, right? Where does the next factor fit? A weaker medium sharp ball. Smitty, dude, seeing the difference when I first started, and how far you've grown with nearly the whole screen filled with sponsors. Hey, thank you, man. Tyran, I do like an all plastic tournament. So the all plastic tournament was, yeah, that kind of died pretty quick, unfortunately. All EJ needs is a Venom, but it's usually like who has the higher rev rate. Like Belmo was crushing people with plastic. Hey, JR, what's going on, man? Grumpa, how would you play 44 feet, 28 mil, 9.78 to 1 ratio? I mean, for a lefty straighter, is generally going to be the play all the time. Just try to have stuff that controls the hook because there's going to be some hook on it, even with 44 feet. 10 to 1 ratio is generally seen as more of a house shot. So there's going to be hook on the outside. Let's see. Cameron, is the hammerhead pearl a banana reaction? No, it's more of a V shape. Brendan Williams, can you explain what it means when you say a ball overflares? Yeah, so when a ball flares, that is how the ball is rotating when it's going down the lane. So there's more. So like when you throw a ball, you have oil rings on your ball. And the further those oil rings get, the higher flaring that ball is. So there's more dry cover stock that doesn't have oil on it that's touching the lane. That makes the ball want to hook earlier and be sharper when it sees friction. So when a ball overflares, it might flare around the entire ball. The core then loses energy and then it just kind of hits flat is a very common thing. That's what happens with a lot of asymmetrical balls if there isn't much oil, is the ball overflare or flares too much and then the ball leaves flat 10s, flat 7s, things like that. Timothy Ryan, thank you for the $2 super chat, man. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Biggie, are there really products that can restore your ball? No. No, they're not. They aren't. I was gonna do like, I respect what Hicklin does over there. Be careful. It's a very expensive product. Their back to life stuff. I was gonna review it, but then I saw there was some beef between Elise and Ron, and I decided to hold back a little bit, wait a little bit before I picked up the product to see how that goes. I didn't want to meet the Armada when that came out. So I am going to be waiting a little bit, but I do still want to test his product to see how it goes. Hey, Sean, thank you for the $20 super chat, man. Yeah, good to see you as well. Phase 2 in Origin EX, as is Briley's Magic Gem. Now to decide which ion to complete the ionosphere. That's awesome. Love that, man. Thank you so much and glad you were able to come by. RJ, update on the US Open and Simo. People saw Anthony throwing plastic to create hold. Maybe deserve tuck break because of it. No, I mean, that's normal. That's very normal. So when the one thing I really hate that we don't get to see for the PBA telecast is how the guys break the lanes down, because that really determines who wins, is how they break the lanes down in practice. So Simo was trying to create hold so that he had in room, while the other guys were probably trying to create hook. And because there was so many more games thrown on that pattern, like you only see what 4 games of bowling on that pattern, but with all the practice that happens, because between every round, everybody can practice. So there's probably about 7 or 8 games that get put on those lanes by the time the championship comes around. So that's pretty normal. Honestly, like there have been times where people have tried destroying the lanes. EJ tried doing it to Thomas Larson a couple of weeks ago, which was kind of funny. It was a best of 7 and it was Thomas versus EJ. Thomas was playing up the rail, up like the 1, 2, 3 board, and EJ was playing in. And when EJ won a match or lose a match, he would start throwing his Sub-Zero Forge right where Thomas was, trying to burn up a line. And so it's kind of normal. Yeah. JNav, just apply Power Edge to my Summit Ascent. Nice. Is Dinothane an SPI brand? No, that was its own brand for a bit. Dinothane was actually its own bowling brand for a while. Where would I put Ion Max Pearl and RST Hyperdrive Pearl? Ion Max Pearl is going to be a strong and sharp ball, and Hyperdrive Pearl is medium sharp. Stephen Butler, any plans for updated Arsenal videos? Maybe updated 6-ball Arsenal guides? Yeah, I have some plans this month. I should see. I have it somewhere. I have my video ideas somewhere, but we've just had so much news so far, so I haven't really been able to cover it yet. Hey, Yofo, can you suggest a GOAT 3-ball motive arsenal? Venom Shock, Evoke Hysteria, and doesn't matter. Nebula. I'm gonna say doesn't matter on the 3rd ball. It kind of doesn't. I mean, Venom Shock and Hysteria are the 2 that are top tier for them. Pink Venom discontinued. Pink Venom is not discontinued yet. That ball's still around. What should I replace it with? But if you want to replace it, the Nebula is going to be your best bet, but it is not gone yet, from what I've heard. Unless my sources are not doing the best. Hey, Bowling Guru, thank you for the follow. Chilu, mid-solid ball. I need long but strong backhand. Alert. You're looking for a little more angle. Alert's going to be the play. Adam, what 6 balls would you recommend for junior gold? So that is a, do I have a junior gold? I might have a junior gold video already out. Can't remember. I feel like I made a junior gold video already. Brad and Kyle used another AI picture for theirs. Do I have a junior gold? I do. No, I do not have a 2026 junior gold. Go watch some of my other junior gold videos. I haven't made one yet, but I'm going to make one soon. There's just too many options to be able to give you an arsenal right now. Unheard Gaming, what do you think of creating the difference in their free sponsorship? It's not a sponsorship. It's a rewards program is really all, or a loyalty program. It's not really a sponsorship. Sponsorship, so there's sponsorship, partnership, and whatever they have. Sponsorship means someone is giving you products for you to make reviews on, or giving you money for you to talk about them. So like, a sponsorship would be like, say if G Fuel would send me a ton of product and say, make a review, that's a sponsorship. A partnership is more of like, it's a trade to a certain degree between you and a company. And what they have is like, and like you get cheaper products is really all it is. So it's more of like a rewards program. It's like the same thing I have at Subway right now, where if I buy 5 footlongs or 4 footlongs, the 5th one's free. It's kind of like that. QC, do you live near Plymouth? No, I'm a bit further south. Bowling Guru, when will Bowlers Network officially launch? So official launch date is unconfirmed right now, still about a month or 2 away at least. So that is something to look out for, but all of their socials are up and running. So make sure to go follow all those. There's been a little bit of a change of direction. Like we want to make sure everything's good to go before everything goes live. We're worried about an avalanche on Bowlers Network. Like there'd be too many people that jump in at one time and there'd be a lot of issues. So trying to make sure it's more perfected than anything. If you could only have one Jackal, what would you get? Jackal Onyx. On the Fresh, explain the beef. Which beef? Oh, the Elise and Ron Hickland. Yeah, there was, Elise made a super long post saying like, a couple of years ago, there was a company that brought me in and did all this stuff. And then they took all my ideas and I won't say who it is, but screw them. It made me the person I am now. And then immediately Hickland comes out and says, I have receipts, but for both of us, I'll keep those secret or something like that. It was like super middle school post of like ambiguous, like super like sinister, like, ooh, I can't say what you did, but you know what you did. And it was hilarious. So that, yeah, everyone's assuming that the beef is between those two because Elise said it was a well-known company. And when somebody asked her on a Snapchat story or like, or an Instagram story, sorry, does the company have 3 letters? She just said LOL. So people think that's what it was. But yeah, there's something going on. Insert name, is the effect tour better on house or sport? Definitely sport, but it is good on house yet. I do like it on house. James Schofman, trying to decide what spare ball to purchase. I get an Aspire, a mix, or an axe. I like my mix. Axes are nearly identical. They hook just a little bit more than a mix, and the Aspires hook less than both. Yeah, Ascends are the ones that hook. Aspires are the plastic. I can't toss a Nebula. Save my horse, but I'll kill it with the Hypervenom. There you go. Antonio, does it matter what hustle? I would just recommend a hustle. I think one of the hustles is going to be best. Mr. Phil, did you watch the Ron review about the ball he initially reviewed that he thought was bad because the ball sent to him wasn't fully cured? No, I haven't watched that one at all. I'm kind of curious. I'll have to check it out. That's seems like bad advertising if Brunswick sent him a bad ball. Because that can happen. That has happened in the past. Like there's plenty of people who are like, yep, this one is a dud, and it can happen. So advertising it is kind of bold. That should make people a little more hesitant towards the full effect. Now, Brunswick is incredible at what they do. They really make very few duds in that way, but interesting. I did see his title for the video, but I haven't had time to watch any of the full effect reviews. I watch Virtues because they're like probably the least biased group out there. Like they will tell you how a ball is. A lot of the others, I just get a lot of positivity. I got to watch Luke's too. I saw he made one as well. I'll be curious what he said. Dreamin', Hammerhead, and Effect 2 are different enough? Yes, they are. Gonna be a lit thing to watch because I've always been curious. Fox Hollow. What do you think about a Transformer, Vengeance, and Bionic paired with a Rockstar Amped? I like that arsenal. It's a lot of balls kind of in a similar zone, but I think it fits a lot of different areas pretty well. So something we haven't talked about yet, I want to talk about all the bowling balls that came out. We haven't mentioned them at all, just like the entire bowling world doesn't care about the other bowling balls. But we did have 5 bowling balls get announced yesterday. We had the brand new purple hammer we've talked about quite a bit. Again, if you don't need a 78 hardness bowling ball, don't get it. You don't need it. Brunswick is going to hate that I said that. Apologies. But 78 hardness is not needed. Just buy a regular purple hammer. They're still made. Anyways, that ball came out. Full effect, which we saw. Super strong, super, super angular. It's kind of like an effect on steroids is what it seems like. We had the double trouble from Deviate, which nobody has talked about. It is basically the Troublemaker series, Troublemaker core. So like the Pearl version, but is a very smooth cover stock. So it pairs well with the Dark Side Curse as a step above it. Then we had the Game Breaker 5 Hybrid, which was a sanded hybrid Game Breaker. So I was told it's very much what you expect. It's a Game Breaker, but hybrid and a little bit stronger than what you'd expect. So another Game Breaker, which is awesome. And then we had the, what was the 5th ball? We had 2 Brunswick or 2 Hammer. Did Track have one? I literally just made a video on this. I thought that there are 100% 5 of them. Am I forgetting? Anyone? Help? Help. Vexed. Oh, I forgot about the Vexed. Yeah. And then the Vexed from Radical. Sorry, Radical. So the Vexed is basically a quicker version of the Evil Eye, is what they were saying. Yeah, thank you guys. Perfect. Glad you guys remembered because I sure hell didn't. But the Vexed is basically a quicker Evil Eye. It's getting advertised very oddly, but it is just a tour or like a lower differential mild ASIM that's a little bit sharper down lane, a little bit stronger of a cover stock. So looks really good. A lot of the pros like it. If you like the Effect Tour, Black Widow Tour, Ion Pros, balls like that, I think you're going to like it. Like personally, I think I would really match up well with the Vexed. Now, it will be a cold day in hell whenever Radical would ever actually send me equipment, unfortunately. But if they ever did, I would love that Vex probably because those kinds of bowling balls match with my game super well. I love the Effect Tour. I love the Scorpion Low Flare. I love the Ion Pro. I guarantee that ball would roll really well for me personally. But I will probably, unfortunately, never throw it, which is sad. But yeah, those are the 5 bowling balls that are coming out. So we don't really have reviews on most of them. We're running out of ball reviewers, and the ball review game is really weird right now, unfortunately. It's kind of sad where Brunswick kind of has the market cornered in that regard, but yet they don't have that many people who make reviews for it, who are not just pushing a store or their brand. So hopefully we see a little bit more. I'm excited for Virtue to throw it because I've gotten a pretty good idea now of how their lanes play. And I can get a pretty good idea of a ball just based on them, each of them throwing it a couple of times. Like I can tell where that full effect fits. I can tell where any other ball they throw, what it kind of does. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Timothy donated 20. I think we had Timothy, didn't we? We had Sean who dropped 20. But no, Timothy dropped 2 and didn't have any messages on it. But no, I don't think we had any, Chloe, right? I don't know who Timmy. Yeah, Timothy dropped 2, and I think we hit that one. Will, what do you think about the RTS Hyperdrive Pearl Phase 2 level High Road 40 Ocean Vibe? RST Hyperdrive Pearl Phase 2 level High Road Vibe. It's a little bit of a weaker arsenal. Like you have a few weaker bowling balls, which is good. That's awesome. Oh, there was Timothy. Oh, have to go to bed soon, so I'll repeat the question and listen on the replay. Okay, I'll have to check that out. No, I think it's good. It's a little bit weaker, so if you're more rev dominant, you're set. Okay, Timothy, there's your question. Apologies. I didn't see it on the first one. Apologies for that. Equinox Solid and Hyperdrive Pearl. Think a Pearl Equinox will fit in there. I don't. I think it's a little too close to the Hyperdrive Pearl. So I would actually avoid the Equinox. And if you're going to get a Pearl, I'd go Viking or Ion Max Pearl if you want an asymmetrical Pearl. I think that'll fit a little better. That'll fit just a little bit better. QC, I'm bowling Minnesota State this weekend. What do you recommend? First of all, congratulations. Welcome. If you go to the pro shop this weekend, you're going to be able to see some ZVL chamois if you want to grab one of those. So anybody bowling Minnesota State, by the way, I have ZVL bowling chamois at Champions Pro Shop right now that you can buy. They're $20. And if someone tries to tell you otherwise, no, they are $20 and they are a great quality. Don't let anyone tell you they're not. Whatever they're trying to get. Remember, it's our red ones, actually, our Spider-Man chamois, which I actually have right here. So you can actually get them a little bit cheaper than if you bought them on the website. So if you bowl Minnesota State at Owatonna, Champions Pro Shop should be open. So go check it out. Be really cool. But no, how it is. So team event is in Owatonna, Minnesota. So very high friction surfaces. They have the pattern out 44 feet, 9-to-1 ratio. It plays like a house shot, in all honesty. The longer you can play straighter, the better, because if you start a little bit deeper, you're going to get very deep on the lane very quick because the lanes break down pretty quick here. And pair to pair is very important. Lanes 1 through 4 hook a lot. Lanes 5 and 6 are very different. Lane 5 hooks a lot more than lane 6 does. But then 7 through 10 is okay. They hook a little bit more, but everything right of the poles does not hook that much. So those are kind of the pairs that you want to get. Those are going to be the best pairs in the house, but you want to play a little bit straighter if you can. Fairbow for doubles and singles, that just plays heavier. So you are going to want to play straighter. And all the pairs left of the poles are the best pairs in the house. If you're right of them, you're going to have to start a little bit deeper because the gutters have some really bad topography on them. So use all of that and you're going to be good to go. I did see Fox Hall. How do you buy one? DH Labs. If you Google DH Labs ZVL, or it's DH and then LAB, you go check that out. They have all of my chamois colors. They have a pink, a teal, and then if you do want the red and blue one, just send me a message somewhere and we can work it out where I can shoot one your way. I have a couple of extras. So it's the best way to buy a ZVL chamois. Huge thank you if you do, by the way. That'd be really appreciative. All right. What's your favorite weak medium smooth ball? Favorite medium smooth ball right now is the Effect Tour. Favorite weak and smooth? My IQ winner right now. It's an overseas IQ. Just any IQ ball is generally one of my favorites. TJ, when will we be making a video for Vice finger inserts? Never. I will be making a turbo finger grips video sometime in the next couple of months. So be ready for that. I'll be comparing the different types of finger grips to show you guys and try to help you figure out which one's best for you. Tyran, Luke liked the full effect. Yeah, it's expected. It's a ball that kind of fits their games pretty well. Yeah, it fits pretty well for those guys. Tyran, Hustle Glow if you want to blind everyone. M&M if you like weird candy colors. X-Ray if you want to blend in with the Vengeance. That's a good point. That's a fair point. Let's see. I'll send you a message here on the red and blue. Okay. Thinking about a concept, but not sure if it's needed. If you don't bowl tournaments, you don't need a concept. It's not needed. A concept is a better house shot option than urethane, but I still don't think most people need a concept. If you bowl tournaments, it's a good option, but otherwise, no, you don't need it. There's better options out there that are a heck of a lot cheaper. QC, I have an Evoke Mayhem, Ion Max Pearl, Phase 2 Pearl, and Special Effect. Will those work for state? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you'll probably lean more towards like the Special Effect Phase 2 Pearl for Owatonna, but you might need the Evoke Mayhem for Fairbow. So be ready. Don't expect to do the same thing in both houses. They play night and day different. Night and day different. Let's see. RJ, I wouldn't be surprised if Phil sent you one. He will not now. Don't worry about that. No, I have not had any contact with almost anybody in the Brunswick camp ever. Oh, that will not happen. Kyle got a Phase 2 solid and Attention Star. Also got a Troublemaker solid that I use every once in a while. What ball should I look into next? Phase 2 solid, Attention Star, Troublemaker. If you want something weaker, that's where like a Hammerhead Pearl, Phase 2 Pearl, Rockstar Amp, things like that are going to fit. If you want something stronger, that's where like an RST Solid, Equinox Solid, Black Widow or Black Widow Dynasty fit. Too fast. Nebula or Apex Jackal? Pick a Nebula. The Apex is very iffy. Gauge comp, is it not worth it to get a Bionic if I have the phase 2 Solid and Pearl? Correct. Do not get it if you have both of those. Not worth it. Viking is the bomb. Viking is good. Des, I have a phase 2 and an Equinox Solid. What would be a good Storm Ball to go with it? Phase 2, I'd say a Shiny Ball. Next Factor is a good option. Phase 2 Pearl, Rockstar Amped, something in that realm. Kyle, any tips to help prevent knee pain? Yeah, I'm guessing you have too much pressure when you're sliding going into that knee. So try to bend your knee and try to get that pressure off of that knee specifically and get it more into your full leg. That's usually what most knee issues come from, is you sliding with not enough knee bend. All right, I will have to call it in just probably about 5-ish minutes. The throat is really starting to hurt right now, which was kind of expected. It's been an hour and a half of talking. So get any final questions in. I'll be able to answer just a handful more, and then we'll have to call it a day, unfortunately. So apologies for that. This sickness has been gross. I did get strep tested today for like personal stuff. I went to get strep tested because I haven't gone to work since Thursday. I've worked from home the last couple of days just to make sure I don't get anybody else sick. One of my biggest pet peeves with corporate America is that sometimes people expect you to go into work when you're sick, which is idiotic because then everyone gets sick. So I went in to get strep tested to see how that was. Came back negative. It's still just a viral infection. And I'm starting to feel a lot better. Like today, I felt really good. But hopefully tomorrow, I feel as good as well. But talking a lot, of course, with the throat being very iffy. Like if you guys heard me on, what videos was it? There's a couple of videos I came out with and I was raspy. Like my voice was gone for a while. So still slowly getting over it, which is good. But just have to call a little bit early, which is okay. Jeff sent you an email for a chamois. Sounds great. Thank you, man. I did see one here really cool. Oh, there it is. Maya, any tips for aspiring bowling content creators? Content ideas, quick growth tips, etc. Yes. Very good ones. Very great question. I want to make a video series on this, but I didn't know how many people would care. So if you do want to see like bowling content creator tips, please let me know, because I think it's a space that we need more people in, and it's highly gatekept by a lot of the bigger names. And I want to get rid of that. I want to try to make sure that people actually get into the bowling content creator space. The more we have, the better. But my biggest tips are, one, do not do ball reviews, whatever you do. The only way you can get into the ball review game is if you get balls for free or early already. I can tell you from experience, if you try making a ball review 3 weeks after the ball is announced, you get no views. No one cares about it anymore. They have their guys. Those guys aren't going anywhere. I am a firm believer that there will be nobody new in the ball review game in the next 5 years. My reasoning is I am like the bowling ball guy in a lot of ways right now, like seen by a lot of people in the space. And if I can't break into the content or the ball review game, I don't think really anybody new can. It's just a very hard space to break into. I don't want to say that selfishly, but like I tried getting into it. I have almost 20,000 subscribers and it just will never happen. I brought it up with all three and it just won't happen. So do not get into ball reviews. Stay very consistent. Show your face. Talk about things. Talk about like your journey to being a better bowler. That's one that not many people do. If you're someone newer to bowling, like talk about like, here's day 1 of me getting to a 200 average. Here's day 2. And like, talk about the things you do. Show yourself talking to the camera. Like, be a true content creator. Don't just show your back. Like I think that's something that bowlers do too much of. You just watch their throws. And I think you need to show like the front half of you. That was one big emphasis for me, was showing my face and being a person and not just being behind me. So that's a very important one. I think if you're out there trying to get into the game, show all of you, talk about things, talk about everything, just be personable, just be you. And that's, I think, some of the best tips you can have. And if you're getting into it, be consistent, be very consistent. All of the algorithms love consistency. There's a couple of YouTube channels that just stop posting randomly and then they get upset because they don't get views or nobody knows who they are. Well, the main reason is because you stop posting. Once you stop posting, the algorithm kind of drops your stuff a bit compared to the people that are consistent. So that's why you've seen like my channel every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, there's videos, live stream every Wednesday, every day on all the short forms, because consistency is what matters on them. So do that. Hopefully that helps. Let's see. User, I don't have a question from you, man. I do not see any questions from you in the last 30. Nick, I am too getting into bowling content. That's what you're doing. Good. Perfect. No, that's the exact way to do it. Yeah. I think the biggest one, because bowling content creation right now is seen as you are a ball reviewer. Like, people call me a ball reviewer. I've reviewed less than 10 bowling balls in my life. Mike Flanagan has reviewed more bowling balls than me. So it's just whenever people look at the bowling social media space, they see you're either a professional bowler or you're a ball reviewer, because nobody's ever done anything else in the space. So that's why bowling is one of the best spaces to get into, because nobody does it. Like, oh no, my TikTok couldn't connect. Why? Everything else is fine. Okay, TikTok might be back. We'll see. But it's sorry, I was going on a rant for a minute. My throat is gonna love this. But nobody does it. And that's why social media is broken in there, where all the pros are getting into YouTube because it's easy money. And it's totally fair. Like, Kyle Troop is almost probably has more subscribers than I do. And he's posted like 4 videos just because he's a recognizable face, and he's going to make bank on that channel. So it's a good second job for those guys. But I think we need more non-professionals in the space. I did a lot of research one day of like, is it healthy that the main content creators are all professionals? And everything I saw said, no, that is the best way to demolish social media on your sport or on your activity, is just for pros to be doing it. So that's a big one. And Tyran with the $10 super chat, man. You went long last weekend. We would prefer you to be healthy. Remember, strep is the flesh-eating bacteria. Everyone go buy a piranha. Oh God, don't buy a piranha. Wait a little bit. Eric, I mainly watch ball reviews to see how the colors look going down the lane. Totally fair. Totally fair. Let's see. Any final ones I want to hit quick? Are you planning to bring any chamois with you to the Ozarks? Yes, I will be bringing chamois with me to the Ozarks. Lefty, what Colombia balls have you owned in the past? Very few. Spoiler and Super Cuda, I think, are the only 2. YouTube is eating the super chats. Best make sure you get your money. And the fact that pros aren't the majority in content creation seems like a big opportunity for small people. That pros are the majority. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No. And one problem that I saw as well is, like, if people think the only way to be a content creator and the easy way to do it is to be a professional bowler, then most people won't want to get into content creation, because they think, all right, well, step 1 is to become a pro. Well, I can't do that, so why would I get into it? No, that is the wrong way to do it. The right way to do it is get into it and don't be a pro. We don't want pros to do it all, because they have generally, like, they're very advanced, but they have a very advanced way of looking at things yet. So we need everybody. We need the more the merrier. JR, love the OG spoiler. It was a good lefty ball. I had mine pinned down. It was such a good short pattern ball. Like, that was my GOAT short pattern ball for a while. It was so good. It was just like stand up 5, just chuck it, and the thing never overreacted. Because I used to throw hard. I threw really, really, really hard for a while. 6'5", long arms. I could throw quick. And then finally, did you get a swag ball yet? I did get a swag ball, and I will be throwing it tomorrow at League. So make sure to check out my short form channels. I will have an actual video of the ball coming soon. If it's not good, it's probably going to end up really bad, because I will get eaten alive by the swag crowd. But I will hopefully have a lot of videos with the Unreal Solid coming very, very soon. Mine was 2-inch pin to pap. Oh, that's awesome. All right. But otherwise, yeah, my voice is kind of going away. We are going to call it on that. I want to give you guys a big thank you for jumping in for a slightly shorter live stream. Hopefully the voice is back for next week, and we can talk about everything that we missed this week. Tomorrow, we have a really cool video going up about the US Open and everything you missed about it. Otherwise, everywhere else, we're going to have a ton of other videos coming very, very soon. We're going to have reviews of all the new Brunswick balls once people post about them, or JR tells me all about them. And then otherwise, we're going to have our usual stuff. So make sure to go check that out. Big thank you to all of our sponsors and partners of the channel. Bowling.com up here. They are the greatest place on the internet to buy bowling products. They are the nicest people in the bowling industry. So make sure to go check them out. Say ZVL sent you in the comments. if you end up buying anything from them. Otherwise, Turbo, big thank you to those guys. We'll have a lot of videos with Turbo coming soon. Apparel EFX, make sure to use code ZVL for 10% off at efx.co. They make some of the best jerseys in the game. And Bowlers Network, make sure to go check them out on all socials. I have a show with Carolyn Dorn Ballard and Jay Fettig. And then we're going to have a couple more people coming on the show soon. I've been in some group chats with a lot of crazy names I never thought I would be. So we might be seeing them on the Bowlers Network side very, very soon. And then finally, Spareware. Big thank you to those guys. Use code ZVL at checkout for Spareware for 10% off as well. They make some incredible stuff. They have some really cool shirts out right now. They have their Impact shirt, which I believe is still out, that most of the proceeds go towards a nonprofit in the bowling world called the Royale Foundation. So huge thank you to everybody who's jumping in. We are going to call it on that, though. Make sure to subscribe or follow on your way out. We have a lot of videos coming out every single day on every platform. TikTok, we're going to say goodbye to you first. TikTok, thank you so much. I will see you all on the next one. All right. We are done with TikTok. We have everybody else. Huge thank you to all of you guys. Sorry for the shorter stream, but make sure to go get some sleep, get some rest, get some water. Don't be like me. Don't get sick. It's not very much fun. Then you can't bowl, and we all want to bowl, so don't get sick. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. I will see all of you on the next one.